of relevance. Thank you. It has a little bit, hi, Carrie Ann. It has a little bit of relevance for what I wanted to do today for sadhana class. So the beautiful thing about tantric practice is that there's no longer any struggle. You no longer need to struggle about whether you've done something right. You know, did I do it right? Oh, I didn't do it right. There's no longer any struggle about, oh God, you know, beat me with a stick. I didn't do my meditation today. You know, give me 50 lashings, please, because I didn't do my asana practice. You know, there's no more struggles with these sorts of quandaries. And in fact, not only are there no more struggles, but they become highly, highly welcome states of mind. You know, just in case I hadn't been harping about this for maybe 10 years now or more, I'll start now. Although I think I have been harping about it, but the point is that you can use the energy of everything you experience in your life in a very, very high way. That's the path of Tantra. And the realization doesn't set in immediately of what that really means. You know, it doesn't really land in your system. And for me, I heard it, but I didn't internalize it, and I didn't feel it integrating into my cells until I got initiation. And it was when I got initiation that I truly experienced what they were talking, what I had understood. It went in this one ear and it sort of did a few laps around my brain, and then it went out the other ear. And what they kept saying is, you can use it all. You can use it all. Like, don't worry about it. Quit stressing and freaking out about everything. Just use it. And that just use it requires the ability to hold yourself in any state of mind with curiosity and think, oh, wow, you know, what kind of energy is this? How am I going to use it? That's what that curiosity that I've been talking about, how that will serve you. So today specifically, I want to talk about sexual energy and how sexual energy transmutes through the central channel, through the chakras in the central channel. And because, you know, that I'm always telling you that Tantra is the practice of the use of energy, and most powerful form of energy that we can practice with or use is sexual energy. But, you know, also like self-deprecation energy, and any kind of energy is okay. You know what I mean? Any kind of energy is okay. So, but today we're going to talk about sexual energy. So, you know, at the Muladhara chakra, the sexual energy is very, very dense, right? It's like super heavy, like really, really, really dense molasses. And it's like, fuck me, just fuck me, you know? It's like procreative. There's nothing. It's animalistic. It's the highest chakra of the animal kingdom. It's just instinctual. It's instinctive and instinctual. You know, you don't even know why. There's nothing going on. You'll still think, fuck me, you know? And it's just this drive to procreate, you know, is very, very raw, dense energy at the Muladhara chakra. Then if you're so fortunate as to have any chakras above the Muladhara chakra, which you must, because here you are in a human body, then you have a Svadhisthana chakra. And if you have a Svadhisthana chakra, then you can experience your sexual energy in a different way. You can experience it as more like fluid, you know, not so heavy and dense and instinctive, but more fluid and more erotic. I think erotic is above sexual, although some people like to debate that one, but it's definitely more sensual and more sensuous. And it uses sexual energy for pleasure, which at the level of Muladhara is not really going on, okay? It's not really happening at Muladhara. It's not so pleasure oriented. So at Svadhisthana chakra, you begin to have a concept of sexual energy for pleasuring oneself or for pleasuring another, although that even, you could say, is even higher up. So then when that sexual energy comes up from Muladhara and transmutes into this wandering element, much flowier, a little bit lighter, then it, as it intensifies at the Svadhisthana chakra, it begins to heat up, it begins to heat up and heat up and heat up. And then it hits the Manipura chakra. And at the Manipura chakra, fire vaporizes the fluidity of the Svadhisthana chakra, and the sexual energy becomes extremely hot, and it transmutes into such powerful, hot, fiery, powerful energy that it kind of busts outward and transmutes itself into energy that serves a lot of different people into power, into power in your world, into manifesting in your world, like beyond just having a good time making love with somebody. So yes, the music is too loud. Is that what you said, Eva?
You're cutting out sometimes because the music is in the background.
Thank you. Okay, so Svadhisthana chakra, as it transmutes into fire, Manipura chakra, the fire of Manipura chakra vaporizes it, and it allows it to rise. So at the fire, it's really moving outward. This energy is really manifesting itself in your world. You then are using your sexual energy to do things in your world, right? So whether you're having sex or you aren't having sex, you can use this system. This is how, for example, Geshe Michael often says, celibacy produces, or something like that. He says, this celibacy allows great productivity. He often says that, right? So if you go through a period of celibacy, you might have noticed, I know this is true for me, that you become really productive, like the energy really can rise, and you can really bring that energy up and use it for action in your world. Then when that energy is so intense, so the sexual energy has come up from Muladhara so raw and so dense and so instinctive, and it's come up through Svadhisthana where it's undergone this transmutation into water, and then it allows this extreme refinement of your sensual interaction with your world through your senses, allows this hugely intensified ability to interact with your world through your senses, right? With another person in sexual activity or otherwise. The energy then transmutes up to Manipura. It becomes this huge fire. It erupts outward into the world. And then as that fire energy moves up into the heart, that water has vaporized through the fire, and then it turns into air at the heart. So this is a much lighter, much higher frequency energy. Sexual energy, when it's transmuting at the heart, transforms into love, of course, but even higher than that, even higher than love, is devotion. So it transmutes into this emotion that we call devotion. The emotion of devotion is a little different from the emotion of love. We'll talk more about that. And then as that devotional energy rises up into the Vishuddhi chakra, it expresses, that's where it expresses itself through song or through chanting or through verbal expression, which might manifest as extreme clarity in your desires and your boundaries. It may manifest as extreme clarity in terms of verbalizing what you or a group of people would be best served to do. So this is an even more wise use of the energy, where the energy of that desire, because it never goes away, by the way. Sexual energy never goes away. That's the other thing, okay? Sometimes you have to work at it, but it never goes away. And when you have it coming so high to the Vishuddhi chakra, then that desire energy, that sexual desire energy, arousal energy, transmutes into such a wisdom that you have no more doubt, you have no more doubt about what you're talking about or what you're hearing and what you're going to take up and what you're going to give up, right? This incredible wisdom comes. And when that energy further transmutes up into the Ajna chakra, okay, so now your vision is completely clear. Now your vision is completely clear because you can see all times at once, all times and all places and all beings. And there's no more limitation, which, let me just say that it's not that there is no more limitation or there isn't, it's that you will not experience anything as being limiting. Okay, so come to your tall seat and let's first of all drop in very, very, very deeply into the sitting bones and let yourself feel rooted. Do whatever movements you need to do in order to feel yourself to be very grounded. Wow, look at Deborah. Oh, patootie. Whew. So come to your seat. Maybe I'll just stay here with you. You can do it on your mats. And come into a cross-legged pose, whatever is comfortable for you. Put your hands to your sides. In fact, put your hands underneath your sitting bones and spread your sitting bones apart. Take them behind you and spread them apart so you feel that you're much more dropped into, grounded into your sitting bones. And you can put your hands to your sides and just lift yourself up a tiny bit and do a couple of 3 rounds of 3 small drops. So lift up as you inhale and exhale, drop, drop, drop straight onto your pelvic floor. So you can't really do this in kneeling. You could do it in like seated pose or cross-legged of some variation. So do 3 rounds of 3 small drops. And really feel the vibration moving up into your Muladhara chakra as you do that. And then super root yourself, super ground yourself, root yourself there. Just a sec, okay. Sorry. And begin to rock your pelvis. Do some hip circles. And allowing the energy to build a little bit. And then pulling that energy up, Mula Bandha, up into the Muladhara chakra and really focus the energy right at the Muladhara chakra. And then change directions. Just building a little bit of heat energy in this lower pelvic floor area. And as the energy builds, you can just pull it up, Muladhara, Mula Bandha, conscious Mula Bandha action. And then once again, ground yourself through your sitting bones. Put your your right hand down beside you. Inhale your left arm up. And as you exhale, side bend to your right. And as you side bend to your right, try to keep the weight even in your two sitting bones. So what do you need to do in order to keep the weight even into your two sitting bones? Two more exhales. Inhale, exhale. And last time, inhale, exhale. And then put your left hand down beside you. Inhale your right arm up and round. Side bend to the left. Once again, root yourself now a little deeper into the right sitting bone so you don't disconnect at the right sitting bone. And two more exhales. In and out. And last time. And take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, clasp your hands behind you. Try to keep your palms pressing in towards one another. And then with the palms touching, see if you can straighten the arms a little bit more or a lot, whatever works for you, whatever is possible, but while still keeping your palms joined together. And then raising the heart a little bit, allowing the sternum to lift, the heart to raise, the upper back lifts, the heart lifts up. And bring your arms even further out behind you. And continue to lift your heart. And keeping your palms and your arms as they are straight behind you, begin to forward fold, exhaling as you do. And just go as deep as you feel comfortable going with your arms in that bind behind you. Good. And then inhale, come back up. Beautiful. Good. Unbind your arms. Bring your left hand to the outside of your right knee. The right arm wraps behind you and binds onto something, your tights or something or other. Inhaling up, heart high. Exhale, draw yourself into a twist to the right. And then do two more deep breaths there, inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your mouth. And as you inhale, really feel your sitting bones evenly rooted and consciously draw energy up into the Muladhara chakra, flooding the Muladhara chakra. See if you can recognize that energy as a sexual, dense and sexual form of energy. Last exhale, undo your arms and then switch, right hand to the outside of the left knee, left arm wraps around behind the rib cage. Inhale, draw up. And as you exhale, root evenly into both sitting bones, twist. One more inhale, exhale. Swing back around. Good. Clasp your hands overhead now. Press your palms upward. And then just begin to wiggle your rib cage from side to side. Just wiggling the rib cage freely from side to side. And then bend your elbows, let the fingertips reach back towards your heart chakra, lifting the heart. And again, wiggle from side to side. Good. Beautiful. And then release your arms, bring them ahead in front of you. Unclasp your ankles, uncross your ankles. Tip yourself forward onto your toes. You can bring your arms through your legs. And tip yourself forward onto your toes. And come onto all fours. Okay, we'll look you. So on all fours, focusing your attention on your Svadhisthana chakra. So keeping the focus strongly on that point on the, just above the tip of your tailbone. Angle your tailbone up as you come into cow pose. And then exhale as you draw that Svadhisthana point beneath you, as you draw the tail underneath you into cat pose on a strong exhalation through your mouth. As you inhale and come into cow pose, you're going to drop your heart space and let the Svadhisthana chakra point reach up, 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 up. And as you exhale, you're going to draw the point of your tailbone underneath you. So keep your focus really on the Svadhisthana chakra as you do these cat cows. Drawing the sexual energy up from the Muladhara chakra, you can feel it as you do cat cow, bringing it up towards the Svadhisthana chakra. And if you really focus, you can feel the transmutation of these kinds of energies as you draw them up higher and higher through the chakras. So carry on, do a few more. Inhale, cow pose, exhale, cat pose. Strong focus on the Svadhisthana chakra. Good. Beautiful. 3 more times. Beautiful. Good. Last one. Good. And then curl your toes under and press yourself up into downward facing dog. And from downward facing dog, come high up onto your toes. And then as you exhale, you could bend your knees a little and let the belly approach the thighs. And then again, come high up onto your toes. And as you exhale, draw the belly in towards the spine. You can keep your knees bent as much as you want. And again, inhale, come high up onto the toes. Exhale, drawing navel in towards spine, coming into Uddiyana Bandha. And as you come into Uddiyana Bandha like that, every time you exhale into your downward dog, and you can in fact do that, you can inhale into a high plank, and then exhale into Uddiyana Bandha to feel the Manipura chakra even more intensely. So even in your high plank, you can really feel the Manipura chakra starting to heat up. And as you exhale into downward dog, know that you've now pulled that sexual energy up from Muladhara to Svadhisthana, and you feel it in the Manipura chakra as you come into a full Uddiyana Bandha at the very apex of your downward facing dog. So have your focus very single pointed on that energy. Now moving in towards the belly, upwards towards the belly. As you inhale into high plank and exhale into downward facing dog. Do 2 more like that. Super strong focus on the Uddiyana Bandha. Beautiful. Last exhale here into Uddiyana Bandha. And just let the belly stay hollow, feeling the energy swirling around the Manipura chakra. Good. 2 more exhales, in through the nose, out through the mouth. On your next inhale, dive forward into a high plank. Let the gaze look ahead, the heart reach ahead. As you lower down from your knees or your toes through Chaturanga Dandasana, come all the way down flat onto your belly. Good. Bring your hands into position for Sphinx. The elbows and hands into position for Sphinx. So the elbows are directly beneath the shoulders. And as you inhale your heart forward, you're gonna let the pubic bone press into the ground. You can keep your toes curled for now. Reach your legs as far back as you can and let the kneecaps float. As you reach the heart forward in Sphinx pose, knitting the sitting bones together very gently though. And feel yourself drawing the energy from Manipura chakra up towards the heart as you reach the heart forward in Sphinx. And slowly lower yourself down out of Sphinx. Reach your arms out to the sides and then roll over onto your right shoulder, feeling this intensive heart energy and the Hatha chakra energy all the way down the arm, letting that energy become decongested in the area of the shoulder, the front of the shoulder. Stay here for 2 more breaths, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. And when you finish your second exhale, roll back over onto your belly, stretch your left arm out, roll over onto your left shoulder, bring the right leg up and over, and then roll over onto your left shoulder, consciously feeling for this energy. So consciously feeling for the energy as it pulls through the right shoulder and then decongests on your breath. One more inhale, exhale. Roll back over onto your belly. You're not muted, but it sounds lovely. And then bend your knees. Then press your thighs, your quads very strongly into the mat. And then bend your knees. You could keep your ankles flexed. Reach behind. You can point your toes if you like. You can reach for your toes or your ankles or your shins or whatever's working today. And then simply use your legs by trying to bring the lower legs to vertical. Keep your quadriceps connecting. Bring the lower legs to vertical and let that action squeeze your shoulder blades together and lift up your heart. Really focus on drawing the energy up to the heart. Yeah, keep your thighs flat. Good. Yeah, beautiful. So you just want to vertical your lower legs, your shin bones. Awesome. Good. And then just relax for a moment and let's go back into the shoulder stretch. This time you can do it with cactus arm. So you could cactus your right arm and roll over onto your right shoulder. Now feel the congestion or slightly decongested state of that right shoulder, especially as you bring more and more energy upward to the heart. See if you can draw that energy now through that right arm also to decongest all of the nadis in the shoulder area along the front of the shoulder. All the nadis coming from the heart out through the arms. One more deep breath in and out. And then come back onto your belly and then roll over onto your left cactus arm. Same thing. Keep the focus really on this, the energetic experience of having drawn the energy up through the belly into the heart, drawing the energy from the back heart through your left arm, decongesting the nadis in your left arm. Beautiful. One more deep breath in and out. Awesome. Come back onto your belly. And this time, move your hands into position for cobra. You can just have your hands at your sides by your shoulders with the elbows staying attracted to the rib cage, or you can put your hands off the mat and you can come into fingertip cobra if you like or not, doesn't matter. You take your choice. in any case, we're going to flatten the feet. We're going to keep the kneecaps floating, the pubic bone pressing, and then inhale. Let the inhale lift you up. Let the inhale lift you up as high as possible. And then finally start to use your hands. As soon as you use your hands, you have to reach your legs back even more. Keep reaching your legs back as you press harder and harder into your hands. Try to let the pubic bone stay grounded. That's not easy. Feel the lower belly stretch. Let the energy come up, up, up through Manipura, from Swadhisthana, Manipura, all the way up to the heart. And then reach the heart forward and up. You can even open your mouth and begin to draw the energy up from the heart to the throat, right? In these kinds of back bends where the throat can open fully. Good. Slowly lower yourself down. Take 3 breaths on your belly. You can come into any rest position you like. Turn your head to one side or the other, or rest on your 2 hands as you like. We'll do one last cobra here. Good. 2 more breaths, in and out, very deeply, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Now really sigh as you bring the energy up into the Vishuddhi chakra. Super strong exhaled sigh. Ah. Ah. Good. Beautiful. And then draw yourself up to a kneeling position. And we'll come into variations of camel. So Eva will show you one variation, which is where you put your hands on your heels, your 2 hands on your heels, but sit down on your heels. Yeah, and so if you want to watch for a minute, what she's going to do is press into her feet as she lifts her pelvis, her bum up, and presses her hips forward and her heart up. And then sit back down again. You notice that she doesn't let go of her feet ever, okay? So she's using her arms to push into her feet to let the hips come forward. You can try that variation. It's not the easiest variation, or you can, and Eva, maybe you could show this too. So you'll start in standing on your knees with your hands at your heart. And simply press the thumbs into the heart and reach the heart upwards towards the sky. That's all. Just reach the heart upwards towards the sky. Keep the pelvis reaching forward. Keep the Mulabandha strong. Feel the energy now moving all the way from Muladhara up Svadhisthana, Manipura to the heart and into the throat. Yeah, nice. Good. So you can take any variation like that or somewhere in between, whatever you feel calling to you today. And I pray that everybody will have a great refinement of the ability to gauge their capacity without getting COVID. So gauge your current capacity of this day. This is a wise and refined gauging of capacity. And there isn't any judgment involved in this gauging of capacity. This is a very highly refined call that you make on your current capacity and what serves you in the best way. What serves you in the best way, and therefore all others. Good, and do one more variation on camel. Really feeling yourself pulling the sexual energy from the heart into the throat, letting the throat open and be free. And then please rest in child's pose. And once you're resting in child's pose, you can keep your throat closed, come into a slight Jalandhara Bandha. Still feeling yourself pulling the energy up towards your throat. Good. Beautiful. 3 more breaths, deep breaths in through the nose, exhaling powerfully through your mouth. And after your 3rd exhalation, you could curl your toes under. Come into downward dog, a short downward dog. Letting your head drop between your arms, coming into a full Vishuddhi Jalandhara Bandha, drawing the chin in towards the sternum reaching towards the chin. Let the head relax and just drop through between your arms. Beautiful. Have a high awareness of what you've just done with your energy system. As you begin to, on an inhale, dive yourself forward so your shoulders are over your wrists. And when your shoulders are over your wrists, tiptoe, walk forward, tiptoe. So you start pressing into the toes one at a time, walking forward until your feet end up between your hands. Beautiful. Good. Nice. And in your forward fold, let your head be free, let your head hang, shaking, nodding, circling your crown a little bit, feeling the energy moving up into the crown, and just letting the crown face straight towards the ground. Feeling that you have a circuit here where you can pull the energy from the earth up the backs of the legs into the Muladhara chakra through the Svadhisthana. Feel it transmute as you pull it up into the Manipura chakra as you draw your navel in towards the spine on your exhales. Pulling the energy up into the heart, all the way up into the throat. Inhale, lengthen halfway, and exhale, fold one more time. Beautiful. Good. Now, really push into your feet as you inhale and bring your arms up alongside your body, all the way up overhead. Prayer hands are up, looking up, reaching up, and then exhale, bring your hands into your heart, close your eyes. Consider what you've just done here. I teach asana in a very illegal way. Those of you who've done other teacher trainings besides YSI ones may know that backbends, you're not allowed to, it's illegal to do backbends in an asana sequence till the very end, I don't know if you knew that, but I'm like the asana rebel. But the reason why I say that is because when you are working with prana, when you're working with prana, anything goes, there are no more rules. The only rule that there is to bring the lower energies upwards. That's all. Okay. And then just rest your arms by your sides. We're going to do 3 rounds of Surya Namaskar. If you're going to be doing jump forward, jump back, it'll be 6. If you're doing 1 leg at a time, it'll be 3 rounds. So you can do any variation of Surya Namaskar that you like. It's completely up to you. So I leave you to do 3 rounds. I'll join you. Here we go. You can follow me if you like, but I probably won't cue it. Okay, I just completed one round, one on the right, one on the left, 2 more rounds. I just finished 2 rounds, 1 more round to go. Okay, beautiful. Nice. Amazing, Deborah. I've seen more serious injuries continuing with asana practice every week in this Zoom room than anywhere, I tell you. It's kind of a miracle. Good. Yummy looking Surya Namaskars. Okay, so when you're finished your last round, stand quietly with your hands at your heart. Feeling the prana, quite powerful, surging prana through your whole body. And then bring your focus back to your feet, the soles of your feet, grounding you into the earth energy. And then once again, begin to draw the earth energy, super dense energy of the earth. Start to draw it upward. Feel your feet rooted into it, stable and grounded. And then begin to feel the energy pulling up through your feet, especially the right foot. Let the right foot really start to pull the energy up from the earth, all the way up the right leg into the Muladhara. The left foot starts to float, and then just let the left knee bend free. You don't need to hold on to it. Just let the left knee bend. You're standing on your right leg. You're pulling the energy up the right leg. You can feel it in the Muladhara chakra as you bring it up, 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 up. Reach out. You can clasp the shin with your left hand and draw your leg in towards your chest so you could reach your left toe with your right hand. And once you've got your left toe with your right hand, see if you can let the shoulder stay where it is and straighten the leg. Try not to let the shoulder move forward. Inhale the left arm up. And as you exhale, reach behind with the left hand. And you could twist a little and just open to the left. Okay. And then start to release that foot. Bring your prayer hands into your heart and start to reach the left foot behind you into warrior one. It can be gentle, feeling the prana pulling up the right leg, feeling it in the Muladhara chakra, feeling super grounded, very heavy and stable, right? You should feel heavy and dense and stable and grounded here. And then pull the energy all the way up into your crown, all the way up. Feel it in the Ajna chakra as you focus here on your balance. Woohoo. Touch your left foot softly back as you settle yourself into warrior one. Pulling the left hip forward and the right hip back. Prayer hands come overhead. And as you exhale, clasp your hands behind you. Draw deeply into the right hip crease and bow over your right leg in pyramid, Parsvottanasana. Inhale, rise the heart up. Plant the left hand down. To the left of your right foot, on top of or in front of or on the outside of your right foot as you like. Pull the right hip back, very, very strong, powerful pull back through the right sitting bone. Inhale, reaching the right arm forward and up, twist. Twisted triangle. Really feel how much you have to Mula Bandha here. Pulling the energy up into the Muladhara chakra and then all the way up along a beautiful straight central channel. How lovely, that looks amazing. Good. Feels good too, no? When you're really focused on the prana and the chakras. Now plant your right hand down. Shift your weight onto your right foot. Let the left hand, left arm come into the gravity line on your fingertips or flat, or you could use a block if you have one handy. Reach back into the wall behind you with the sole of your left foot. Reach forward with the right arm and come into twisted Ardha Chandrasana. And then simply bring your right hand back to the floor, your left hand back to the floor, fold, Uttanasana. Let your head be free. Consciously pull all the energy up the central channel into the crown as you let the head go free and shake and nod a little bit, and then be very heavy in your 2 feet. As you inhale, strong around the kneecaps as you inhale the arms out to the sides and back up. Sky diamond. Exhale, hands to your heart. Close your eyes. Just rest. 3 breaths. Conscious, deep breaths. In through your nose, out through your mouth. And last exhale. Once again, bring your focus to the earth, the dense energy of the earth that just wants to keep you grounded. That's what it wants to do. It just wants to pull you down and have you be very stable. So feel her as she does that. And then ask her to give you the energy back up your left leg as you unweight the right foot. Wait until you really feel strong prana force moving up the left leg as you begin to bend the left more and more. Keep feeling for that force, that river of prana moving upwards up your left leg. And maybe eventually you'll clasp your shin with your right hand. And then eventually you'll hold your right toe with your left hand. And as you reach the right leg forward, don't displace the shoulders. Inhale the right arm up, twist to the right. Beautiful. So you're not moving the leg, just your torso, right? Just your torso, like this. Yeah, good. And then bring your hands into your heart and reach your right foot back, warrior 3. Reaching the sole of your right foot into the wall behind you. Feeling yourself throwing the energy up the, oh, sorry, I'm on the wrong leg. Sorry. I'm sorry, I think I switched you onto the wrong leg, didn't I? We're lifting the right leg right now?
I have the right leg back, and before I had the left leg back, so you're good.
Okay, good. So you're standing on your left leg, reaching your right foot back into the wall behind, yeah? Warrior 3, good. Step softly back into warrior 1. Really feel yourself drawing the energy now up from the outer edge of your right foot, drawing it up, 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 and from the inner line of the left leg as well. The energy draws up into the Svadhisthana chakra. I can feel it in my Svadhisthana chakra super powerfully here. And as you draw the energy up, the back bend can get deeper. And as you exhale, clasp your hands behind you. You can exhale into Uddiyana Bandha and pull the energy up into the Manipura. Uttanasana. Pyramid pose. One more deep breath in and out right there. Then bring the right hand to the inside, outside, on top of, or in front of your left foot. Root deeply. Draw the energy up the left leg, squeezing the inner upper thighs, pressing back through the left sitting bone as you reach the left arm forward and up. Twisted triangle. Beautiful. Keep pulling the prana up as you do 2 more deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And in through the nose and out through the mouth. Awesome. Good. Come back out. And then place your right hand just ahead of you into the gravity line, pressing into the left foot, letting the right foot start to reach towards the wall behind you. So here you're in warrior 1, but then you're going to inhale the left arm forward, squeeze the inner upper thighs, and twist your torso. Twisted Ardha Chandrasana. So it's a real big squeeze in the pelvic floor. Good. Yeah, beautiful. That's nice. Good. And then release everything and drop yourself into Uttanasana, consciously pulling the energy up from the feet, up the backs of the legs, feeling the prana and the hamstrings, drawing it up, 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 up into the Muladhara Svadhisthana. Exhale, feel it in the Uddiyana Bandha at your belly. Inhale, draw it up to the heart. Exhale as you come into Jalandhara Bandha and feel it in the throat. Then just let the gaze move into the mid-eyebrow point as you pull it up to Ajna Chakra, and then exhale, let it drop into the crown. One more deep breath in and out. Strong in your legs, strong in your kneecaps as you inhale and come up. Prayer hands overhead, sky diamond, and exhale, prayer hands to your heart. Close your eyes, 3 breaths. Super conscious awareness of your prana. Does it feel like it's stuck someplace, or is it blocked at a particular level? And so if you feel like it is, you can send gratitude to that obstruction. You can send gratitude to that blockage for the fact that you have some fuel. You have something to practice with. And once again, shift your consciousness into your right leg, pulling the prana up the right leg. The left foot begins to float. Let the left knee bend, draw up, 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 up. Use both hands on your shins, to draw the thigh up to your chest as close as you can, while still keeping the crown moving upward, always moving upward, upward, upward. And then cross your left ankle over onto your right thigh. You can bring your hands into your heart, and you can begin to drop into this half chair. And so you can come as deep as you like. You can cradle the baby at the bottom. Lots of options here. You can just stay here You can drop your fingertips to the floor and try to come as deep as you can. You can come into Kalavasana hand balance if you want. Eventually, we're all going to pick the baby up. So when you feel ready, right hand on the outer ankle, left hand on the outer knee, and begin to push into the right leg. Push into the right leg and draw the prana up the right leg, bringing the baby up to feed. I'm going to bring my left arm inside and bring my ankle towards my right breast, feeding the baby here. And then you can simply come into tree. Very, very lovely transition into tree because the leg is so open. You can bring the arms up overhead if you like. Draw the sitting bones together, knit them together a little bit. Reach up through your arms. And as you exhale, let the arms drop to your sides. And then step back into position for warrior 2. So you're going to now face the side of your mat. Yeah? And just do a gentle bend into the right knee, super gentle bend into the right knee, nothing serious, just like kind of like a stretching thing here. In fact, let's come into Durgasana first. So into Kali or Durgasana. I like to do it with my hands on my inner thighs. Dropping as deeply into the pelvic floor as is comfortable and workable for you today. Yeah, good. When you've done that for maybe 3 breaths in total, come up on an inhale, turn the right foot out, the left foot in, and come into warrior 2. Torso is vertical. Right thigh parallel to the ground as much as possible. Outer edge of the left foot sealed to the mat. Right kneecap directly over the second toe. Warrior 2 arms, just turning the head. There's nothing else to do except just turn your head, right? Inhale into reverse warrior arch. Exhale into extended side angle, right elbow, right thigh. Inhale into reverse. Exhale into extended. One more time like that. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, extended. And drop the right hand to the inside of the right foot and straighten both legs, triangle. Beautiful, good, lovely, lovely. Start really working with the prana here. Can you feel how powerful this prana is when you begin to move and stretch? And whenever you feel stretch sensation, that's prana congestion. So this is so beautiful to be able to work with that, with your body like that. So now drop your left arm behind your back. Maybe you'll bind onto your right thigh, heel toe your left foot in. Reach your right arm forward into the gravity line, shift your weight onto the right foot, and come into Ardha Chandrasana. You can leave your left arm bound, or you can stretch it up as you like. Two more breaths. When you finish your second breath, turn to face the front of your mat. Bring your feet together. Uttanasana here. Just relax. Pull the prana up. Pulling the prana up the backs of the legs, all the way up the central channel, letting it drop through the crown. Beautiful. Very strong legs now when you inhale up. All the way up, prayer hands overhead, and exhale, hands to your heart. Close your eyes, 3 breaths. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Super conscious of your prana in your body. Last exhale. Allow the weight to be very heavy in your left leg. Start pulling the earth energy up the left leg, the right foot on weights. Knee bends more and more and more until your hands can just lightly clasp the shin, drawing the right thigh in towards your chest. Crown keeps reaching upward. Focus a little on drawing the prana to Ajna Chakra. Focus. And then place your right ankle on your left thigh. And in prayer hands, you can let this right leg drop out as you drop into half lotus chair. Dropping as deeply as you can here. You could let the fingertips come to the floor. You can cradle the baby if you want. You can do a hand balance if you want. Wherever you are, try to take a couple more breaths here if you can. And then we'll meet up in cradling the baby, drawing the baby up to feed. Drawing the baby up, upright, upright, focus on Ajna. And then just come into tree pose. Arms floating up, prayer hands overhead, reaching high in tree. Focus on Ajna Chakra. Beautiful. And then release your arms, release your leg. And then just step so that you can face the side of your mat and the screen and come back into Kali Asana. Good. So we're coming into warrior 2 here, bending into the left leg this time, rooting through the outer edge of the right foot. Really keep your left knee properly positioned, and also your right knee for that matter. You know, like my right knee has a tendency to really drop inward here. So make sure your right knee is turned out towards your second toe. That's not easy to do. Torso stays vertical as the arms lift up and the arms drop to the sides. Nothing changes, just the head turns. Keep drawing the energy up, all the way up the legs into the first chakra, second chakra, all the way up, all the way up. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, extended. 2 more rounds. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, extended. Last time. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, extended. And then heel toe, bind onto the inner left thigh with the right arm. Pull the right foot in, reach the left arm forward, shift into the left foot, and come up into Ardha Chandrasana. Beautiful. Try to stay for a couple of breaths. Drop your leg a little if it's too intense. Go where it's possible for you. Feeling into your prana body. Yeah, beautiful. And then let everything go into a forward fold, facing the front of your mat. Relax everything. Drawing the prana up the backs of the legs. All the way up the central channel, through the throat chakra into the Ajna. Letting the energy drop up to the crown. Feeling the circuit. Beautiful. Strong legs, strong kneecaps. Push into the ground as you inhale up. Bring your prayer hands to your heart. Close your eyes. Just relax. Beautiful. And so please step to the middle of your mat and drop into a deep squat. Do it slowly, making sure your knees track out over your second toes. I'll give you a few options here. You could stay here, focusing on drawing the torso upright and letting the pelvic floor be parallel to the ground and keep dropping deeper and deeper and deeper. That's option one. Option two, you can straighten your legs and try to let the arms and the shoulders crawl in behind your legs, preparing for Titivasana. And so if you know Titivasana, you can practice it. Or another option, you can do crow pose, Bakasana, from your deep squat. As you like. So if you're doing hand balance practice at this point, shift your focus into the groundedness through your arms. So now you're drawing earth energy directly into your heart. This gives you the courage to do hand balance because you're drawing earth energy directly into the heart where we have courage. Like the lion in the Wizard of Oz. Good. Beautiful. So if you've been doing hand balance, you can join us now in deep squat. And then slowly press the elbows into the inner knee points and begin to straighten your legs, coming into a super short downward dog. Super short. And then you can start to walk the hands and feet apart so that you come into a regular downward dog. Inhaling the left leg up. Exhale, kiss your knee. And then plant your leg, your right foot to the outer edge, to the left edge of your mat. You can come into a few pigeon dances in preparation for pigeon. Or if you feel warm and ready, you could just come straight into pigeon, up to you, or do some pigeon dances. So either way, we're all going to meet in some variation of pigeon. Your variation of pigeon, where you feel most, it feels the easiest for you to drop into the front of your left thigh. Into the front of your left thigh. Yeah, good. And press into your hands now so that initially you're coming into a sort of a back bend variation. Reaching the left leg very long. The kneecap might even float, but the thigh stays connected. And then as you exhale, you can begin to recline forward onto your pigeon. And then you can flatten your left foot, pressing into all 5 toes. And reach forward with your arms and relax, recline, just rest and breathe here. Breathe and enjoy. Good, good. That's it. Nice. Three more breaths, deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Nice. When you do your last exhalation, let yourself lift back up through your hands. So listen carefully. So the right leg is in front. Try to bend it to 90 degrees. And then bend the left leg behind you. Can you see what I'm doing here or not? No. I think I'll try to show you because this asana gets a little strange. Okay, Okay, so I have to move my leg. The right leg is bent, like so. The left leg is bent, like so. Then you turn to the right and you begin to lower onto your torso. So now we're in a very deep twist. We're coming into a very deep twist. And as much as possible, you want the left side of the rib cage to roll around and come to the ground. So use your hands, stay supported in your hands until gravity kicks in. Gravity will kick in and assist you to come all the way flat into your torso. Beautiful, yeah, lovely. Good, and when gravity finally kicks in, try to keep both your ankles 90 degrees, please. This protects your knees. Good, when gravity kicks in and you succeed in bringing the left side of the torso, the ribcage around, so you feel like you're quite square to the ground through your heart and your chest. That's a really nice deep twist, and then you can just support that by breathing very, very deeply. Feeling the energy being drawn up into the places that the twists reach the navel chakra, the heart chakra. Just relax. Take 5 more deep breaths there. Be completely surrendered into your twist, completely surrendered into your breath. And once you finish your 5th exhale, bring your hands close to your ribs as you press yourself up. Roll all the way around so you can come back into downward dog, facing the same way that you were before. And just press out through your feet a little bit, reaching your sitting bones high. Reset. Maybe you'd like to take a vinyasa, just reset your spine. And then once we're all back in downward dog, we'll inhale the left leg up. Exhale and kiss the knee. And then bring the left foot into position for pigeon. So first of all, come into the back bend variation. Good. And when you're in your back bend variation, you can really allow gravity to pull your front of your right thigh down. And when the front of your right thigh makes contact, you could maybe press into all 5 toes behind you. The kneecap might float, but the thigh stays connected, and then you can recline and relax for a few breaths here in the recline pigeon. Really feel surrendered when you exhale into these poses that we do on the floor. Allow the breath to support you by giving you the surrender that makes these poses so juicy and yummy and so freeing, so liberating. Good. 2 more big breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. Really capitalize on your breaths. Make them generous. So generous and abundant and expansive. Beautiful. When you're ready, press yourself up. And then bring so now the left leg is in front, 90 degrees, the ankle is flexed. The right leg is behind, 90 degrees, the ankle is flexed, twisting all the way around to the left. So that you can begin to surrender the torso down so that the right side of the rib cage rolls around and comes to the floor, reaching ever forward, letting yourself come deeper and deeper onto your torso. Keep turning to bring the right side of the rib cage down. Both knees are as much as possible 90 degrees and ankles also 90 degrees. So then let the breath bring you into a full surrender of your weight here, letting gravity assist you into the deepest possible version of this beautiful twist, this gravity assisted twist. Voluptuous, generous breaths. Beautiful. Beautiful. 2 more deep breaths. Really, really big, deep, abundant, generous breaths. And when you complete your second one, draw your hands close to your rib cage to press yourself up very slowly. And then bring the soles of your feet together a little bit in front of you into Baddha Konasana. Bring your hands behind you, fingertips facing away, and first root into your sitting bones and lift your heart. And then as you exhale, bring your hands forward, lightly resting the elbows on the inner thighs, pressing the inner thighs outward as you round your low back, not lengthen, but round. And begin to let the forehead reach just past the toes. And so you're reaching the forehead, not placing necessarily, but reaching the forehead. Feeling a lovely rounding stretch in the low back here. Yeah, good. So just allow yourself to straighten up one vertebra at a time from that curled position. And come into upright seat with your knees bent, toe tips on the ground, just preparing now for some Navasana. So we can do a number of things. We can just be in a regular Navasana here like this, or straight, because we're going to gradually lower down. You can do it with your knees bent. Ready? We'll all start together. Here we go. Inhale and gradually lowering Flattening into the low back. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Last 10, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Just let yourself drop into Shavasana for a few breaths here. Just relax. Let your arms stretch way out to the side and your legs too. And then jiggle your pelvis and jiggle your torso, your rib cage. Jiggle your whole torso. Just let the tension go. Ah. Ah. On your next inhale, draw your right knee into your chest, clasp your shin, and flex both your ankles as you inhale. Kiss your knee. As you exhale, lie back down. 2 more like that. Inhale, kiss your knee. Reach your left leg way away from you. Exhale, relax 1 last time. Inhale. This time as you exhale, draw the right leg across with your left hand, rolling over onto the outer left hip. Stretch the right arm way out to the side. Keep your whole shoulder girdle on the ground. Turn your head to look out past your right fingertips. And just relax, let gravity do everything here. Inhale, bring your right knee back, roll back onto your back, put your right foot on the ground. Inhale, draw the left knee in, stretch the right leg out, press out through your right foot. Inhale, kiss your left knee. Exhale, lie back down. 2 more. Inhale, kiss. Exhale, last one. And as you exhale, draw the left leg across with your right hand, rolling over onto the outer right hip, rolling back onto the left shoulder blade simultaneously. And then just relax and let gravity draw the leg down, the right and left leg down. Inhale the left leg back up, roll onto your back, both legs, both knees into your chest. Lift your head, roll from side to side a little bit. Ah, very deep breaths in through your nose, exhale through your mouth. Ah. Ah. And then touch your feet down. Press your feet into the mat, your hands into the mat with the arms at your sides. Inhale your pelvis up into a gentle bridge. Draw the shoulders and the arms underneath you closer. And then inhale, let the pelvis lift up a little higher, drawing the buttocks towards one another. If you can clasp your hands and put your fist on the ground, pressing a little, letting the hips come even just a little bit higher. And exhale, release your arms, relax your back down. Good. So yogi's choice here, Dakini's choice. You can come into a second bridge or you can come into a full Urdhva Dhanurasana wheel, flat pose. Take your time. Try to be as cool as possible about it. So you're going to casually come into another bridge, or you're going to choose to do a full wheel pose, or you can, of course, choose to do nothing at all and get an early start on Shavasana. This is also perfect, as you like. Good. And then you can do whatever you need to do before you settle yourself now, please, into Shavasana. So for this Shavasana, I request that you please allow yourself to drop into a state of Yoga Nidra where it is possible to allow your prana body to be anywhere that you choose to take it. And I'd like to request that you make an intention to drop very deeply into Yoga Nidra today and allow your prana body to have a super high sensitivity to my very, very beautiful and good friend, Serafina. Serafina is a young woman who moved to Gabriola not very long ago. I met her when she first had moved there, and she always was coming to kirtan and ecstatic dance and stuff like that. She's an artist, and she's been a professional astrologer and very, very gifted intuitive tarot card reader for about 20 years. She's an extraordinary young woman. She got stung by a bee and she went into anaphylactic shock and her heart stopped for 20 minutes. And they, of course, took her to hospital, but her brain was damaged so irreparably that she didn't survive. And so Serafina has left her body in the last 24, 36 hours. So my request is that you have an intention to be very, very deep in your Yoga Nidra so that you can offer comfort and light to people who have separated from their physical form for this particular lifetime, and offer them your light and your guidance as we move into Yoga Nidra. So the first thing I ask is that you really truly surrender your weight. How much can you surrender your weight? How much can you really let go? And when you think that you have, surrender it even more. And even more. And even more. And now allow your consciousness to be in your inner body, your energy, prana body, your subtle body. feeling very sensitively into your prana, into your energy right now, and allowing your energy to settle and be completely grounded, completely stable. As you bring your focus to your right hand and consciously ask your right thumb to let go and relax. And your forefinger, middle finger, ring finger, and your right pinky. Ask all the fingers of your right hand to let go. Just relax and release. And now your arm, your wrist, and your elbow, your upper arm, your shoulder, into your shoulder blades, the whole right arm, from fingertips all the way up into the armpit, into the shoulder. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Now the left arm, left hand, left thumb, forefinger, middle finger, ring finger, pinky, all the fingers of your left hand, let them go. Ask them to relax and let go. Release. Your left hand, wrist, forearm, and elbow, left upper arm, all the way up into your left shoulder, left armpit, the whole left arm, from fingertips up into your shoulder. Relax. Let it go. Now your right leg, foot, your right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, right pinky toe, all the toes of your right foot. Ask them to let go. Let go. The whole right foot, instep, arch, sole, outer edge, ankle, and heel. Your whole right foot, let it go. Now your right shin bone and calf, behind your right knee, the right kneecap, the whole right quadricep, front, sides, inner and outer, right thighs, and then the right hamstring. The whole right leg is relaxed, all the way up into the right buttock and the right hip. Feeling the relaxation, feeling from the right toe tips all the way up the right leg into the right hip, letting it all go. Let it go. Now move your consciousness into your left leg, left toes, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, left pinky toe. All the toes of your left foot, just let go. Your left foot, sole, arch, instep, heel, ankle, your whole left foot relaxes and lets go. Your left shin bone and calf, behind your knee, the kneecap, the left quad, inner thigh, outer thigh, left hamstring, all the way up into the buttock, the hip, the whole left leg relaxes and lets go. The whole left leg from the toe tips all the way up to the hip. The whole left leg relaxed. Let it go. Now bring your conscious awareness into your pelvic floor and relax your pelvic floor. Just let it go. Even more. The bones of the pelvis, the organs, generative organs, elimination organs. Feel them becoming soft, pliant, and letting go. Lower belly, soft. Navel, relaxed. All the tissues on either side of your spine, from the sacrum to the waist and all the way up. Move a little away from the bones and just relax, soft and pliant, heavy and relaxed. The upper abdomen, all the organs in your abdominal cavity are soft and relaxed. All the organs in your thoracic cavity, your lungs, your heart, soft and relaxed. The rib cage releases fully. The shoulder blades sink heavy and relaxed. The collarbones open and breathe, very relaxed. The chest fully relaxed. Open and relaxed. Your throat is soft and open and relaxed. The back of your neck, soft, relaxed, long, into the jaw, heavy and relaxed. Your lips, your teeth, your tongue, soft and relaxed. Nose, cheekbones, temples, and your eyes, heavy and relaxed. And your whole forehead is soft and relaxed. Your ears are soft and relaxed. All your features are soft and relaxed. Your whole skull, your scalp, all of your hair, soft and relaxed. And your brain, just relax your brain. And in this deep state of relaxation, please say your sankalpa 3 times with absolute conviction. In this deep state of Yoga Nidra, everything is possible. Very, very gently draw your awareness back to your physical body lying here. Draw your awareness to the surface of your body and whatever is contacting the surface of your body. Clothing, the ground, the air, your hair. Be conscious of everything that's contacting your physical body right now. And then allow your awareness to move out from the surface of your body outward and become very highly tuned to what is going on there in your world, in your space. What sound, what smell, what are you tasting? What do you see when you allow your eyes to open gently? And what do you touch? What are you feeling? And then allow your head to roll from side to side a little. And draw your knees into your chest and roll from side to side a little, beginning to mobilize your spine. You can make some circles at the sacrum. And as you feel ready, you can roll over onto your left side. And breathe there for a moment before you press yourself up. And when you feel ready, you can give yourself a push. And then when you do come up to your seat, please avoid drinking any water at the moment, although you can certainly empty your bladder if you need. And you should empty your bladder now. Or we move on. Okay. Hello, everyone. So we're going to do the practices of the Hatha Yoga Pradipika, not the philosophical, technical thing. Well, yes, the technical things, but just the practices. We're just going to do the practices in this last hour of sadhana class now for a while, quite a while. But I just wanted to say that before you get to the asana section of chapter 1, it is in chapter 1 that the asana section is presented. But before you get to the asana section of chapter 1, and because it's a tantric text, the very first thing that happens in the Hatha Yoga Pradipika is that they honor the guru all the way back to the beginning of the lineage of the tantric hatha practice, which is Shiva. And then, you know, they go through the lineage, right? From Shiva all the way through. So this is always the first thing that happens in any tantric lineage that I've ever been seriously exposed to, is that you always honor the guru, the teacher. And then you do some consciousness of yama niyama and how it is that your heart feels and how your mind feels when you lie down to sleep at night, and whether or not you feel calm and settled. And then the Hatha Yoga Pradipika almost immediately moves into more grounded hatha things, physical things, because it's a tantric text. And it's not really, you know, it's not really doing a lot of mental masturbation very much. It's really much more anxious to get to the physical forms of pleasure. So it only spends a tiny bit of time on this mental thing. And then it right away wants to say that the number one enemy of this practice is overeating. Just as a kind of like it's like in the very beginning of the text, you know, I don't know why they would give it such a prominent position. You know what I mean? Like it's like super prominent at it has like several pages to itself, this topic of food. But most importantly, it's not so much what we eat as how much we eat, you know, that the text wants to point out. So, you know, it's your sock, ankle sock, your ankle sock half full in any one sitting. And generally, you know, we have 2 to 3 sittings of eating a day, and half a sock of food, half a sock of food, 1/4 of a sock of water, and the last quarter of the sock stays empty for Shiva or for your guru. And so this is really important, right? So, and you know, one of the reasons that we have asana, we've always had sadhana at 6 o'clock in the morning, is because you're not really inclined to try and eat before 6. Like if we have it any later, you know, I can think of a few of you who'd be like, no, I gotta eat, you know. So, you know, 6 o'clock, it's like so unlikely that anybody's going to be wanting to eat before that. So, and that's when you should do hatha practice, on a very, very empty stomach, you know, 12 hours empty, or at least 8 or 9 hours empty. So then we're going to do the asanas gradually over the course of weeks, but today we're going to move right into the practices of chapter 2, which are the shatkarma, the purification practices, and the pranayama practices. So just to cover off the asana for today, I'll offer you 2 options for your sitting practice. The 2 options are in your case, is Siddhasana, but it's Siddha Yoni Asana, right? It's called Siddha Yoni Asana when women do it. Or you can also do Swastikasana. So Swastikasana is where you cross the ankles one on top of the other, and one toes fits in between the thighs and the calf, and then the other toes also fit in between the thighs and the calf. And the ankles are, they can either be one in front of the other or one on top of the other. So that's kind of like how most of us, I think, sit, usually most of us have open enough hips that we're taking that seat. So that's Swastikasana. Siddha Yoni Asana is a little different. The heel, one heel, presses into the vaginal opening, actually presses into the vaginal opening. So that means that your ankle has to be in a right angle, like Tadasana position. One heel is pressed up into the vagina. The other foot, the other ankle stacks on top, and the top heel presses into the clitoris. Okay, so the lower heel presses into the vagina, the top heel is pressing into the clitoris. So you have to figure out what height your hips need to be at in order to be able to do that comfortably. Most of us may need like a thin blanket or even more, like a block or, a proper full-on bolster or whatever, but try to figure it out and just try it right now. It's very difficult to teach these things in online, So next time we're together, we'll address all of it again, but try to do this. Try to take a seat where your lower heel is pressing into the vagina, the top heel is pressing into the clitoris. This is Siddha Yoni Asana. And when you do that, your two ankles should still be at 90-degree angles, like flexed, in other words. So this is a very powerful position. Siddha Yoni Asana, he goes on in Master Swatmarama goes on and on and on. I don't know how many pages in Hatha Yoga Pradipika are given to Siddha Yoni Asana, Siddhasana, Siddha Yoni Asana, because this pose, just by virtue of sitting like that, begins to raise the sexual energies in a pretty powerful way, wouldn't you say? So this is the basis of the Hatha practice, the seat. Okay, so either of those two seated positions, and if neither of those is working, just take a simple cross-legged pose. It's fine, Sukhasana, whatever is comfortable for you is the most important, okay? Because we'll be here for a little while, right? So I hope that you had a chance to try both of those, just to try them, and then take one or the other or some other one. And we'll begin just by moving through the preliminary to the pranayama practice, which is Nadi Shodhana. Nadi Shodhana is not technically one of the pranayamas, so it's a purification practice for the nadis. So please take a tall seat. I'm just going to move directly into the practice. And without using your hands or anything at all, just let your hands rest. Hands just rest on your thighs or your knees. See that you're really rooting into your sitting bones so that you can use that downward press to then uplift yourself, uplifting your central channel directly upwards. And the cheekbones are in the same plane as the sternum, and those both are in the same plane as the pubic bone. Can you feel that? So you may have to retract your skull. So cheekbones, sternum, pubic bone in the same plane. Good. And once you have brought all of those bony points into one line, begin to inhale through your left nostril. Hold the breath for 3,000, 2,000, 1,000, and then exhale through the right nostril. And then inhale through the right nostril, 3,000, 2,000, 1,000, and exhale through the left. And then again, inhale through the left, filling the lungs, feeling the abdomen swell as the diaphragm drops, holding the breath, and exhale through the right. And again, in through the right, feeling the lungs fill, diaphragm drops, belly distends, hold, and exhale through the left. So please continue like that. For 5 rounds. And when you finish 5 rounds, you can move your body to indicate that you're done. You can do some twists or change your sitting position or something like that. So we're not using our hands right now. We're just doing a psychic breath. In through the left, out through the right, in through the right, out through the left. And this Nadi Shodhana begins to purify our tendency to experience the world as though it's coming at us. Bam. Okay, good. So bring that practice to a close. And so now we begin back in your seated posture, or you can change legs or take a different posture or whatever you like. And this time with your right hand thumb, you'll close your right nostril up high in the crease, yes, rather than down low. Closing at the crease, breathe in slowly and fully through your left nostril. Release your thumb and exhale through the right nostril. You can close now the left nostril with your right ring finger. When the exhalation is complete, inhale through the right nostril. And then change and exhale through the left. So that's 1 round. So what we're going to do, we're going to breathe in through the left and out through the right, in through the right and out through the left. We're going to do 5 rounds, and we're going to hold for 5. So when you inhale, you'll go inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold both closed. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale right. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale right. So you're only going to retain on the inhalation, not the exhalation. Yeah? All right. So you can begin now by inhaling through the left nostril. And if 5 feels like too much, you can lower it to 4 or 3, or you can inhale to 6 or 7, or increase to 6 or 7. Whatever is comfortable for you, but holding the same count for the in-breath and the out-breath and the inhale retention. So this is a ratio of 1 to 1. Sorry, 1, 1, 1, I should say. 5 rounds like that. So you'll indicate that you've finished by dropping your hand, of course, when you finish 5 rounds. And if you have finished your rounds, you can take some twists or do some shakes and maybe a couple of lion's breath pranayamas. So please notice whether your skull is square to the front or whether your head is facing left or right a little bit. Open your eyes and see if you're not looking straight ahead. You need to be looking straight ahead when you do this practice and all pranayama practices. So we did a ratio of 1, 1, 1. That means inhale for the count of whatever, hold for the same duration, exhale for the same duration, and then immediately inhale again, right? 1, 1, 1, 1. So now we're moving to 1, 2, 2. What that means, inhale, 2, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, inhale, 2, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 2. So you could do 2, 4, 4. You could do 3, 6, 6. You choose what your count is, but the ratio is going to be 1, 2, 2. Is that clear for everyone? Does anyone not understand? Okay, so go ahead and do 5 rounds like that. Yes, Eva?
Can you please repeat?
Inhale, 2. Sorry, inhale, 2. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. So it's 2, 4, 4, which is a ratio of 1, 2, 2. So it could be 3, 6, 6 or 4, 8, 8 or whatever is comfortable for you. Okay. So go ahead and do 5 rounds of 1, 2, 2. Ratio of 1, 2, 2. Head straight. Just check, please. Open your eyes and look at your screen. Are you looking straight ahead? Most of you actually are not. Make sure that you are. Shoulders, head, chest square. Absolutely looking straight ahead. There's a tendency for the hand to push the face to one side, so be very aware of that. Just check. Check your head. If your arm gets tired, you can hold it with the other. Hold the elbow with the other hand. Give it a little support. Check the tilt of your head again. Complete your rounds. Relax your face. Smile a little. Good. So Master Swatmarama, if you haven't finished, keep going ahead and finish. So Master Swatmarama recommends Padmasana, full lotus for this, for Nadi Shodhana. But he says, or it's actually Swami Satyananda, who says Padmasana should be used by those people who can sit in the position for at least 15 minutes without the slightest discomfort, okay? So if you can't hold a lotus without thinking, oh my God, I got to get out of this position for 15 minutes, then don't forget about it. It's not worthwhile. Take a position that's comfortable for you, that you can sit quietly and let your focus be on the breath practice. So Master Swatmarama, or maybe it's Swami Satyananda, or maybe it's both of them, say keep to the ratio of 1-2 for about a month. That's what they mean by Shanai, Shanai. You know, Shanai, Shanai means go slow, you know. Go slow. Harness the tiger slowly. Takes a long time to train a wild tiger, which the prana is. So, but you've all been doing this for quite a while, so you've already really qualified for that. But 1-2, Nadi Shodhana ratio of 1-2 is very comfortable. And we'll just finish with 5 rounds of 1-4-2. For those of you who feel that it's very comfortable and absolutely no strain, you can do all 5 rounds of 1-4-2. But if the 1-4-2 feels like even the tiniest amount of strain, back off, go back to 1-2-2. It's better to do a lifetime of 1-2-2 than 5 rounds of straining in 1-4-2. Seriously, it's really true. And that's part of the refined practice of gauging and curiosity, right, Lada? Gauging and curiosity. Like, is it a matter of just being curious about how strained you feel? No, it is not. Okay. It's a matter of gauging intelligently, using your discriminating wisdom. Yes, your ego wants to do it. But that's not what we're doing here at the throat chakra anymore. That was back at Manipura. You know, you're kind of done with that. So your discriminating wisdom says 1-2-2, you know, your ego says 1-4-2, 1-4-2. Discriminating wisdom says 1-2-2. That's gauging capacity, which changes from day to day. This is different from curiosity, okay? So you don't get curious about shit like feeling extremely strained in pranayama. Let me say it again. There's no curiosity, which is appropriate for feeling strain in pranayama or asana for that matter, or anything, you know, strain. So that's another process of coming into a refinement. Who's talking? You know, what part of your body is talking when it says that? You can do 1-4-2. You can do 1-4-2. What part of your body is that, you know? Like, is it actually ego? Maybe it is. Maybe it's laziness, you know? Maybe you're like, oh, whatever, I'll just stay with 1-2-2. Yeah. In which case, curiosity would be highly appropriate. Like, what's that all about? You know, I've been doing 1-2-2 for 25 years, and really, I can do 1-4-2 because I do it in Padma's class all the time. But you know what I mean? So there's a refinement that comes, an understanding that comes with gauging capacity intelligently and wisely, and approaching a situation with a very open curiosity. So we're going to move into 1-4-2. So come to your tall seat, change your position if you need, And right away, or maybe not right away, but you'll know pretty quickly if 142 is not working for you today, or it just feels any kind of strain. So 142 is like this. Okay, so let's say inhale 2 counts through the left. Inhale 2, hold 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale right 2, 3, 4. Inhale 2, hold 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale left 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's 2, 8, 4, right? 2, 8, 4, which is a ratio of 142. Okay, so if you want to try 142, start with 2, 8, 4. Okay, and if you don't want to do that, go back to the ratio of 1, 2, 2. Here we go, 5 rounds. Please begin. Check your head position. Check that you're relaxed. Your lips are smiling. And begin to let the air breathe you for your count. Mhm. Beautiful. So, remember in the early Chinatown, when we first started doing sadhana practice in Chinatown, we always used a metronome, right? because it's really important that the count is completely the same. And traditionally, there were 4 ways to judge the time. And actually, we learned one of these ways at Diamond Forest. It was the weirdest thing that we used to do. So it's the time it takes to circle your knee and snap your fingers. Circle your knee and slap your fingers. That was 1 count, and it's quite distracting when you've got like 150 Lungi tantric students doing that, in a breath class. But anyway, so that was one traditional way. Another traditional way was that they clapped their hands 3 times. Or a third way was the time it takes for the breath to go in and out while you're in deep sleep, which is like so subjective. I don't even know what kind of sense that makes. I didn't get it. And the fourth is this Om 1, which you often hear used, right? So you can go Om 1, Om 2, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, like that, right? Or you could use a metronome, which is really good. I like to use a metronome. Then there's a pranayama, which is performed while doing mantras. And there's pranayama, which is performed while not doing mantras. And if you're doing pranayama without mantra, it's called nigarbha. And if you're doing pranayama with mantra, it's called sagarbha. And in the Tibetan tantric tradition, you always use mantra when you're doing pranayama practice. That's just traditionally, that's the way it's done. So, for example, in the text called Geheran Samhita, which is another tantric sadhana text, tantric hatha text, while you are inhaling through the left nostril, you would repeat the Vayu Bija mantra, yam, 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 yum, like that, okay, for however many counts, right? And as you're doing that, you're simultaneously raising the sexual energy from the lower chakras and then from the fire, from the navel, and then drawing it up. So that is also traditional, that you don't ever do any practice without remembering what it is that you're doing. And if you're doing hatha practice, then you're doing tantra practice. And if you're doing tantra practice, then you're always working with energy. And if you're not, then you're not really doing the hatha practice properly. So if you're doing hatha practice, you're doing tantric practice. If that's what you're doing, you're working with your energy. If you're working with your energy, you're always working with bringing the denser lower energies up to the higher centers. And if none of that is appealing to you, then hatha is not the practice for you. So then you can always do Raja and just like forget about the whole physical thing, and pretend you don't have a body. So pranayama practice is not even, Nadi Shodhana practice isn't even considered to be a pranayama, but it's clearly really, really crucial because, again, there's like quite dozens of pages dedicated to it. And Swami Satyananda, Swami Swatmarama, they both belabor the point of how crucial it is to do it exactly according to the instructions of the guru and to do it exactly to the prescribed count and to never allow any strain to be experienced. They're very, very, very strict about that. And they offer many different things that you can do to keep the focus on the energetic of the practice. So, for example, visualizing the prana moving up, doing the mantras as you move up through the central channel. So I thought we would try one of the ones that, in this case, Swami Shivananda gave to his students, because it's kind of different. So you can just come back to a comfortable tall seat and be ready just to stay here for a few minutes, and you can just relax and allow your whole jaw to relax and let the corners of your lips smile. And allow your eyes to close. Be conscious that you're rooted and grounded and that you're drawing energy upward and that the cheekbones are in the same plane as the pubic bone, the sternum. And the energy is moving upward. And then you can allow the eyes to open just enough so that you can see the tip of your nose, just enough so that you can see the tip of your nose. And see there the luminous orb of the moon at the tip of your nose. The luminous orb of this full moon is at the tip of your nose as you inhale through your left nostril. And you say, tum, 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 tum. Hold the breath in. Tum, 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 tum. Exhale through the right 8 times. Tum, 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 tum. Relax, just relax for a moment before we do the other side. So keeping the focus on the orb of the moon at the tip of your nose. And with your eyes almost closed like that, imagine that you have golden nectar flowing through all your nadis, flowing through all 72,000 nadis in your body, purifying your nadis. And we begin now on the right side. So once again, gazing at the orb of the moon at the tip of your nose, inhale through the right nostril. As you repeat, tum. And do it for 8 or 6 or 4, whatever is comfortable for you. And then hold, repeating now the mantra vam for the same count as you inhale, retain. And then as you exhale through the left nostril, lam. Make sure that there's no strain. When you finish your exhale on the left side, once again, relax your whole body. Visualize golden amrita, nectar, flowing through all the nadis in your body, especially Ida Pingala. And let's begin again on the left side. So when you inhale through the left, when you're inhaling, you're saying the mantra tum, tum. When you're holding the retention, vam, vam. And when you're exhaling, lam, lam. Tum, vam, and lam. Same ratio 1, 1, 1. All the while seeing this orb at the tip of your nose. So begin whenever you like. Please do 5 rounds of that practice. And this is very much a time where you let the air breathe you and you let the air leave you. So if you finished, move your body a little bit. So in that practice where you're doing something, saying a mantra, visualizing something, saying a mantra, it becomes really, really important that you are allowing the air to breathe your body, allowing the air to feed your body, and allowing the air to leave your body. And as those processes are happening, you're just singing along, you're singing along. So the air is breathing your body. Tum, 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 tum. The air is nourishing your body. Vam, 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 vam. The air is leaving your body. Lum, 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 lum. You're just singing along. Do you know what I mean? So if you can especially have the experience that the air is leaving your body, breathing your body, leaving your body, then it's very relaxed and there's no strain. Okay. And there's no stress with all these different things going on. You know what I mean? Like it's not a stressful thing, it's not meant to be a stressful thing that is a strain in any way. Then maybe that practice is for you, maybe it's not. So, traditionally, right, Hatha Yoga Pradipika being a tantric text, it's also a retreat text, you probably know, and it was given for the retreatant who was in sort of like a long-term solitary confinement kind of a situation. And practices were prescribed 4 times a day, once about an hour or a bit more before sunrise, once at midday, once about an hour or so before sunset, and once at midnight-ish, right? So because those hours have special names, like my favorite one is between 4 and 6 a.m., as you know, that time is called Brahma Muhurta. This is a time when the subconscious mind is the most active. And if you can be awake or lucid during that time, you can really operate from that time, from that part of the brain. It facilitates that kind of experience. It's very, very relaxing and very pristine. It's very clear. And the other thing with those times is that it's when Ida Pingala are switching, right? So it's when the predominance of the breath, the prana, is shifting from one to the other, which is the time that you want to catch it. Because this is like the witching hour of pranayama, it's the time when the most powerful change takes place at the cellular and the energy levels, is when you can catch those times when the prana is actually doing a changeover. Because it's also a changeover of the external and the internal energies, right? So, early morning, there's a changeover from the internal into the external, and it stays external through the day. And then in the evening, it shifts back from the external into the internal. And then at midnight, it goes all the way in. So energetically, it's very powerful to do pranayama at one of those times. Not all 4, obviously, right? Not for any of us here, but unless you're going into retreat anytime soon. However, midnight is not the time to do pranayama practice. It will definitely disturb your circadian rhythm. And if you allow your subconscious, unconscious mind to become activated like this at that time of day, then it's possible, because that really is the witching hour. It really is, midnight really is. And if you start doing pranayama and stuff like that, or even breath work, especially breath work, I guess, then all of it will really speed up the ripening of all the karmas, especially the super subconscious, hidden, deep, dark ones, which usually translates to negative karmas. Like all of your negative karmas will really ripen fast if you do stuff like pranayama practice at midnight. Do you trust me? Don't do it. We did it. bad idea. It's quite scary, actually. So it's not the time, okay? But if you do a little bit of pranayama, you know, it doesn't have to be formal practice, right? It doesn't have to be a big deal. So as we move through all of the practices of the Hatha Yoga Pradipika, you can see which ones it is that give you the most juice, that give you the most charge, you know, that give you the most trigger, that are really shifting your consciousness, and stick with those ones, you know. It's not necessary to do the ones that don't really effect any kind of a change in your consciousness. But if you do one, or you do one in a certain way that really feels like it has an intense effect on your consciousness, that's the one to do. Because now your energy is shifting, right? Now your energy is moving. If you shift your consciousness, that's what we're aiming for. So that's how you know that something's going on for you, is that your consciousness will shift. And that goes for all practices. Actually, it goes for all spiritual practices, you know. If you feel a conscious shift in your energy from doing whatever, you know, the snake charmer, or, you know, a sexual union practice, then that's the practice for you. But if you don't feel a significant shift in your consciousness from, let's say, for example, the use of sexual energy, then don't do it, you know. So whatever carries juice, right, for us. Okay, then let's see. Master Swatmarama says, how do you know when you've purified your nadis enough that you could then move on to the other practices, the other pranayama practices? Various physical symptoms will come. First, you might have like a light perspiration in your whole body. You know, your whole body will just have like a light moisture. And then you might experience some kind of trembling, light trembling. And then as you become more and more adept in your pranayama practice, nadi shodhana practice, then you have a total steadiness. And then when you have this experience of total steadiness, then you can notice that you can increase the retention and even add a retention to the exhalation, you know. So now the ratio is going to have 4 numbers instead of 3, right? So you can start increasing the time that you're retaining without any strain when you feel this complete steadiness in your body. And then when your body and your nervous system, you know, your mind are purified like that, then the quality and the quantity and the quality of the prana in your body up levels significantly. And then you will experience that you feel warm most of the time, all of the time, you know. And that's when you hear like stories of the yogis in Tibet who would go out in the middle of winter in the Himalayas and melt iced sheets that had turned to rock solid ice and lie on them and melt the ice completely with their heat, their pranic heat, you know. Spiritual heat, right? Tapas, spiritual heat. And then in the second stage, you may have some sort of quivering or like sensations in the spine, you know, like you have this like pranic movement thing in your spine, or maybe other parts of your body. And then again, when your mind and your body and your breath steady, then you've nearly perfected your practice. So no matter what you're doing in your practice, you stay absolutely steady. And in the final stages of all of that, you find that your breath spontaneously just goes into kumbhaka. It's a completely spontaneous kumbhaka. At the beginning, though, if you, especially if you do too much and you strain, but even if you don't strain, as you start to increase your capacity for holding these higher and higher amounts of super high vibrational prana, then your pranic flow becomes more intense. And the peripheral parts of your body, your fingers and your toes and all that, you can have some vibration, some light vibration at the periphery. And then you can have strange sensations, like some strange impulse movements through the central channel, and sometimes itching. I don't know who's had this before, like itching and tingling sensations, and weird parts of your body start to itch and stuff like that. And then prana, you can have prana suddenly accumulating in different parts of your body and causing weird, weird, weird pain, suddenly like you wake up and you can't walk, because your right knee something, right? And then the next day it's completely gone, right? That's how you know that it's prana. Oh dear. So I'm going to stop talking here for a minute. Let's just sit quietly together. You can just quietly sit and notice, have a curiosity about your experience today. From our asana practice and our pranayama. Okay, please bring your hands to your heart. Thank you, your precious body, your precious conscious mind. For the fact that you're even attracted to sadhana. And then make an offering of your capacity to practice spiritually. Make an offering of your capacity, your huge, enormous capacity to practice, offering it into this sad, dark world. Offering your light, your divine light outward. Your beautiful compassion that transcends all manly boundaries, all manly rules, cultural, religious, dogmatic rules. Your compassion that can transcend, fly way, 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 way above, knowing perfectly what each being needs and offering it without hesitation. Like the lovely Amish boy. Okay, so we'll offer our prana. And then please turn on your mics if you have any questions or you want to make any kind of comment today.
My question?
Yes.
My question is, I didn't get to write down what the fourth time was. Is it noon? So it's 4 to 6 and an hour before sunrise, an hour before sunset, midnight, and the fourth time was noon in the afternoon? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Like just before before midday, the hour before midday. Yeah. Are you all well? Good. Yeah, Eva.
When we did the moon at the tip of the nose, you're supposed to keep your gaze open and cross-eyed, like kind of like a
Soft.
soft
Really
the
soft.
nose.
Yeah. You like almost like not focusing. And then you do see this like moon-like orb actually. It's
Okay.
very soft, right? Soft focus.
Thank you.
Who liked that practice of Nadi Shodhana with all the visuals and the mantra and everything? Yeah, some people do, and some people are like, whoa. Yeah. I like it too for the reason that it allows me just to let the air breathe me and the air leave me. Because now, my mind is busy doing something else, rather than going like, you know what I mean? So it's really nice for that, right? It just completely lets that take care of itself. Tanya.
Yeah, I had a couple questions actually. So the mantra Tam, where does that live in the body?
THAM, Tum. Where does it live in your body?
Well, I wasn't sure. I was getting more caught up on the Lam Vam, and that's where I was more caught up in where was it to live in the body?
So if you just close your eyes and do it right now, tum, as opposed to vam, or lam, it's very different.
Yeah.
It is very, very different, right?
Is it the belly?
Well, for me, it's not, but it could be for you. It's not to say that it's not the belly,
Yeah.
Next time we're moving into the more on the elements and the chakras in combination with the breath. So we will have that going on next time because that's what we're moving into. Connect breath practices into the.
Okay. And then you were saying not to do pranayama at midnight?
Yes, that's what I said.
So what it's just interesting. Because when I wake up, sometimes I do practices. So thank you for sharing that with us. That explains a lot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There are things that you can do, you can just you can breathe softly and it'll put you back to sleep. Like Ujjayi is usually nice if you have insomnia, it's very soothing, right? But things like Nadi Shodhana and stuff like that are a bit too activating. Like a gentle Ujjayi can be helpful. Yeah.
And someone with hypertension that can't do retention.
Definitely no retention and very low ratio. And I would suggest Brahmari.
Okay.
Hypertension.
Thank you.
But but Nadi Shodhana is a preliminary to those, and you can certainly safely do it, but I wouldn't even be closing the nostrils with the hands with somebody like that.
So if you were doing square breath, that type of breath, you would still not want to do like a retention, right? Correct? I know we had a facilitator come in and she facilitated a retention and it made me really uncomfortable. So I just wanted to double, triple check that I had the right information that I shared with the room.
Hypertension.
No.
Eating the breath increases the blood pressure.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
That's what it does. Right? So, yeah. So thank you for holding Serafina, the beautiful Serafina. Who knows her here from DF? Anyone? Yeah. Eva does.
Would she have been at Swami Muktabanda's retreats like in 2014, 2015? Okay.
No, not at all.
And then the retreat that I did with you after my surgery, I think was with Dawn.
She moved to Gabriola only in the last maximum 2 years, maybe a little bit less than that even. She's only been there. Yeah, she's so beautiful. It would be nice if you could send that link so everyone can actually see her. She's very extraordinary. Yeah. Okay. Thank you all beautiful Dakinis for coming to class today. All right. See you soon. So much.
Can I still reach you on WhatsApp?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the email, if I to email you, what's your email?
It's well, you don't
Oh,
get
I get it with the Zoom link. Okay. Okay, I'll use that one.
the only thing is you can't telephone me because my telephone number right now I have a European telephone number, but WhatsApp still works.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So you can't text me, like you can only WhatsApp me. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye. Blessings, everyone.
Have a beautiful weekend, everyone. Ciao.
Enjoy
Happy
the